Welcome please to the JVG podcast, where these G's are gonna spread their seeds of knowledge about the league. It's flourishing with these. These funny catchers seem to be well read, esteemed and honest. Like the man himself, Jeff Van Gundy. They are high IQ, so cerebral and funny. So if you're on the bus, just border on the dunny. Listen to the
JVG NBA Tribute Show.
Welcome to episode 170 of the Jeff Van Gundy Tribute Show. Lukas, it's taking us... I feel like this 160s went for so long.
Yeah, did the 160s go from last year?
For sure. No. Last season, definitely.
Last season.
Yeah. Not last year. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
If we'd done 10 pods in a year. I guess that's possible.
It is possible.
Yeah.
If it was like
highly unlikely. Yeah.
Then we'd actually way ahead of schedule.
Which we're known to do from time to time over our lifespan.
We were wildly consistent for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And then we kind of just I don't think we fell off. We
redistributed.
Yeah, we redistributed.
We realigned.
Yeah.
Those first two things I said. I think this is the longest. So since you went away to Chile, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
I think that's the longest I've gone without recording a podcast in like 4 years.
Wow. That's insane.
Except for Europe last year, but that doesn't count.
No, but even because
even when you went away at the beginning, I was still doing one every 2 weeks.
Yeah, you were churning
minimum.
Yeah,
having one of our lovely guests on, such as Alessio Conte or Sam
Splash 64.
Sam Splash 64, exactly right. But yeah, so I got a bit of a break as well. But how was your break, Lukas?
Yeah, man. There's also something else we need to talk about in a second, which just dawned on me. But we're in a fucking basketball team together.
Yeah, we actually have to talk about that as well.
I think this episode is perfect for that. But let's start with should we start with my experience with LATAM Airlines?
Yeah, sure. Let's start with that.
Immaculate. I don't know what's going on. I think Asian airlines are very good. Middle Eastern airlines are very good. I was like, there's no way there could be another continent that could go toe to toe with those two regions.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, LATAM has entered the fray. Great entertainment options. Before the flight started, the first one, they were going and picking people out of, so it was a 333 seating setup, A through I.
Something like that. I feel like they always skip a letter though.
Yeah, they do, don't they, sometimes? Well, let's assume they didn't skip a letter in this. They were picking people from the middle of each thing, like a B, an E, or an H. Yeah. And they were relocating them to a triple,
like to free aisles,
to free up space.
Wow.
so that there was as much, there was as many people as possible having no one next to them.
That's so nice.
It was incredible. And that was my experience on the first flight. I was on a full row. They plucked out the guy in the middle, and then
I
was no longer had someone next to me.
Oh, so you got someone plucked away.
Yeah, plucked away.
Which is nice. You know when someone sits down next to you, you're like, damn it.
Yeah.
This is my buddy for the next 14 hours.
Yeah.
You got the opposite of that.
Yeah, I had the opposite of that. Watched some incredible movies. I do have them on my device right here. I watched a basketball movie, White Men Can't Jump 2.
Really?
I don't know if it's White Men Can't Jump 2 or if it's just White Men Can't Jump.
Oh, like
with
the remake with Jack Harlow. Yeah. Any good?
Yeah, well, much better than you'd expect.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where it's like, you're going to do a remake, it's going to be bad, and then it's not bad, It's bad, but it's not that bad.
It seems like such a YouTube Shorts movie.
That's exactly what it is. And it's not White Man Can't Jump 2, it's just a remake.
Yeah.
I also watched Zodiac, Judas and the Black Messiah, and A Quiet Place Day One. Yeah. Well, I actually just watched the last half an hour of Zodiac.
Have you seen Zodiac before?
I've watched the first 2 hours of Zodiac maybe 5 times.
Right.
And
so then you just get straight to the last half.
Yeah, I was like, why do I keep doing this with this one movie? Let me see how it ends.
It's a slow moving film.
And it's also a great movie.
It's really good.
So I'm really annoyed that I haven't finished it in full before. Great finishing to that movie as well. Great ending. So great movie options. Great entertainment. Very comfortable. Everything was all good about it. The flight from Melbourne to Santiago, which was my first flight, obviously, went for like 12 hours, which is so palatable as an Australian to go door to door 12 hours. And it was in the middle of the day, and I arrived in the morning as in I left at 12 p.m. and arrived at 11 a.m.
The same day.
The same day,
Yeah.
yes.
You went back in time an hour.
Yeah, but you know what? The only downfall on the leaving Australia and going to Chile for me was they tried to adjust everyone's body clock, but it was the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I think you just got to roll with the punches.
Yeah, until a certain time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, once it hits, I don't know. Fuck, that's actually hard because what is it? It's like 10 p.m. local time when you leave, something like that. 9 p.m. Yeah, there's no way there's no adjustment period in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a day-long flight. It's half a day, so you're not going to be able to replicate the full day.
Yeah.
But yeah, they brought out a meal at the very start and a meal with like 2 hours to go. Right. So there was about 10 hours where they expected people to sleep at 2 p.m. or something.
Could you ask for snacks or...
Yeah. Can you?
Yeah, I think you can be like, hey, I'm really hungry.
Yeah.
On like a luxury airline like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, a non-budget airline like your big box ones. What was the food like?
Oh, great. Just great. I had, I think I had the same thing on both flights, but I had pasta for the dinner option.
Yeah.
They grated a bit of grana padano on top of that as well. And then I had...
Dinner at 2 p.m.
Yeah, and then for breakfast both times I had eggs sunny side up. I actually did have the same food both times. The pasta on the flight home was unbelievable.
Yeah, right.
It was so good.
Interesting.
It was as if they drizzled a little bit of olive oil on it.
Yeah, okay.
At the very end. Like it had that colour to it.
You think they're doing finishing touches as they're bringing it out on the card?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
And then both times had the omelette for breakfast. Yeah, food was good. The whole service was good. I was pretty happy. I was pretty blown away. And they had a fun little puzzle game I played on the way home a little bit. Read a bit of Helen Garner's new book.
On the screen? Or no. Yeah, you had the copy of it.
I have a hard copy.
You had Dante's hard copy of it.
Dante's pre-release.
So LATAM Airlines, are they a generally Latin American airline or do they have a headquarters somewhere?
I assume they'd have to have a headquarters somewhere.
Yeah, well, let's bloody...
Jamie pulled that up. Oh yeah, movies I watched on the flight home. 1917, and what a movie it was.
Yep.
Freaky Friday.
Fantastic movie.
Hang on, we got to talk about that as well in a second.
What do you mean?
I watched a bit of Wonka and I watched Hot Pursuit and I also watched San Andreas, which is a movie with The Rock.
Yeah, it's the earthquake disaster one, is it?
It's the best bad movie I think I've ever seen. Yeah. And it's absolutely a plane movie. Alright, Freaky Friday, man.
It's a Chilean multinational airline holding company headquartered in Santiago, Chile.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's why you get that door-to-door service. Dude,
Freaky Friday.
What? So, like, you know how, like, now every movie has, like, layers and, like, themes and symbolism?
Right.
And no storyline?
Yeah, right.
Freaky Friday is the complete opposite
It's
of that.
just straight direct to the point, telling you what it wants.
Storyline.
It wants you to know.
Characters. Fun. Entertainment. 87 minutes. Alright? Why are my movies going for 2.5 hours? All of them these days. It's written in the fucking Oscars script or whatever.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie. Every single scene is like... It's so... They make the most of every single moment of that movie. And I don't think I'd ever seen it other than like clips here and there.
Right.
But like fucking Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. What do you think's gonna happen?
Recipe for success. Yeah, 87 minutes is like getting under 90 minutes, which seems impossible by today's standards. So impressive.
Yeah. Chicken Run from memory was a little...
Chicken Run?
Yeah, Dawn of the Nugget.
Oh, the new Chicken Run.
No. Chicken Run, the original. Fuck. Yeah. It's annoying. I hate that I knew the runtime of it before I actually...
It's 87 minutes?
No, 84.
Alright, wait, that movie feels so much longer than 84 minutes, like in a good way.
Exactly.
So much happens.
Exactly right.
So much happens. They set up all of these things, there's the pie machine. Yeah. That scene feels like it goes for like a bloody hour.
Yeah,
and you're telling me it's 10 minutes?
They knew how to make a fucking movie back then, and now it's all about climate change, a thing that doesn't even exist.
You were there when we rewatched all of the Wallace and Gromit's that one night, right?
Yeah, what can you remind me why we did that?
I have no idea.
Were we hungover?
It was a really weird day for sure.
Was it Arthur Street?
Yeah, it was at Arthur Street.
Wow.
I think it was very hot out because I remember we had the aircon on. Yeah. The evaporative cooling.
Yeah.
And the blinds drawn. But yeah, I don't know why we watched like 3 Wallace and Gromit movies.
Yeah, I was so confused why we were doing that. I don't even think I think we were doing it to do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we wanted to.
Yeah. But those pre Curse of the Were-Rabbit ones, they're all like, what are they, like 40 minutes or something?
Each.
29 minutes.
So it's just an episode.
Yeah, but it feels like a full movie.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
Good point.
Think about how many things happen in the wrong trousers. I cannot wait for the new Wallace and Gromit movie coming out this Christmas.
Is there one?
Yeah. It's called
National Lampoon's Wallace and Gromit.
It's bloody Vengeance Most Foul, and it features the return of Feathers McGraw, the antagonist of the wrong trousers. You know the penguin with the little the glove on his head that makes everyone think he's a rooster.
Yeah. Oh, true. So cunning.
Yeah.
And also, Michael, we're in a basketball team.
Yeah. So the Deep 2 social basketball team, I think is what it's officially called.
Yeah.
Deep 2 midweek social basketball team. Sorry. I've played 2 games so far. You've just played. I played the one, I believe.
Yeah, and then I was sidelined for two weeks.
We're going for cap 3 and 2 respectively tonight. Yeah, it's heaps of fun. Never played basketball before. So definitely steep learning curve. It's actually, this is what has annoyed me the most, is after every game I'm like, man, I need to go put up some shots before the next game, and then I don't until 5 minutes before the game.
Yeah.
Just does not prepare you for playing a full basketball game at all.
Not at all.
So I need some learning experiences outside of the baptism of fire. Is the basketball court.
And in a basketball game, if you're chucking shots up, you're probably getting 12 up.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to shoot, you can get 200 up if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Would you say the learning curve for becoming a basketballer is harder than becoming a basketball podcaster?
Oh, that's hard. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly easier being a basketball podcaster.
Yeah.
Learning to be a basketballer. Because I feel like I've got D pretty on lock. Defense, that is, not Dante Buffer.
For all you non-basketball fans.
Going to a zone defense, I'm like, I actually know where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then, how I respond to what other players do and stuff like that. Man, I have no idea what to do on offense. I just find myself so lost so often, because I'm like, well, I'm not a good shooter, but also our center's 6'8", so I don't really want to get in the paint with him either. I'm playing the 3 most of the time, so I probably shouldn't also be, in the post or on the baseline.
It is your natural position.
Yeah, exactly right. So that's the one that's taking the most, is being like, oh, where should I be right now?
Yeah.
Where should I be to not only help people, but also maybe get a shot or a layup.
Yeah.
Which, in game one, I actually had so much fun. Felt very happy with how I did. I think I took 1 shot in the first half, and then at halftime, you need to shoot more. Took 5 and missed them all. And then obviously got the famous putback and 1 with 20 seconds to play.
Clip that.
But then game 2, they were bloody playing man defense, and it just threw me so much.
Oh, damn.
The other team was. I was just like, oh, now I'm never open. Because I think in zone, once they're like, oh, this guy can't shoot very well, it's like, well, I'm going to get open a little bit.
Yeah.
But they were just, in man, it's like, oh, I can't do anything except cut and run. And,
you got to shoot, man.
It's
the best. It's the best,
I know. You're a shooter.
Yeah. Aggressively wanting people to shoot as well. I think playing against a man after so many years of playing against his own is there's no space when you come up against the zone, especially in social basketball, because they pinch in even tighter than they do in professional leagues around the world. So hopefully we come up against the man tonight, and I'll set you a couple back screens if that's the case, because I reckon that's where you do your work as a small forward, would be cutting. Back cuts and stuff. And then playing with the big fella definitely helps.
It helps a lot. It helps it helps the scoreboard in particular.
The scoreboard.
There's a guaranteed 10 points there every single night.
Structurally as well. There's something about having the tallest player on the court.
Man, and shout out Chris if you're listening. Like, just one of the best communicators in like any sport I've ever played. Like, you know, having me and Bo on either side of your, you know, your low in the zone would probably be a little bit frustrating at times. But you know, he's just calling everything. He's like, you know, get that. Blah 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 blah.
Nah, don't. You guys are the wings of fire.
Yeah,
you got so much beef and bulk. You're like fucking Neymar and the other guy.
Yeah, right.
What other notable wings did he play with?
I don't know, Mbappe or...
No, wasn't he a striker?
I guess wait.
Did he play with Messi?
Yeah, he played with Messi.
Oh, there you go.
Messi and the other
Ronaldo.
guy. Oh my god, who was the third guy in that?
Was it Karim Benzema?
No, that's because that was Real Madrid.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh, was it Luis Suarez?
Yeah, it was Luis Suarez.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
Wow.
Chris, you're Luis Suarez. I'm Messi. And Bo's the freaking insolent Neymar.
The Brazilian. Yeah, there you go. So if you guys want to come down and watch a game, Coburg, they're not really giving us any slot but 9:15 apparently.
Yeah. Great watching time though. Like, you know, get a game of ball in before you go to bed.
Yeah. Better as a viewer than a player, I would say.
100%.
Especially that close to bed.
Yeah. It's really cool. I have not had a good sleep after either game. Yeah.
I think the only thing that'll give me a good sleep tonight is my fucking jet lag.
True.
Because I got up at 4:30 today and 3 yesterday, but I fell back asleep yesterday. It's a bit misleading.
Any final comments on your trip?
The trip generally was great.
Yeah.
Met some family. Met up with my dearly beloved. And if you think of Chile split up into 3/3, the top being that dry, arid desert part, the middle being the lush part, and the bottom being pretty much Antarctica.
Another dry, arid desert.
I was in the middle third, the lush part. Couldn't recommend it more. Beautiful country they got there. Great people. Don't know what a Chilean person looks like. Ahoy, Oli. Don't know what a Chilean person looks like. Didn't see two Chileans that looked alike.
Really?
There was not like, oh, that's what a Chilean person looks like. I saw 10,000 different people, and I saw 10,000 different people.
I guess it's all those like Argentina, you know, Uruguay, Paraguay, Chile, Brazil, all those ones, like so mixed up racially. You know? Like it's not just Spaniards, there's Italians, there's lots of Germans for some reason as well. You know?
Yeah, huge German influence in I get what you said there, but a lot of the villages are influenced by German architecture.
I'm sure
more than anything else. Something you might not know about Chile: a lot of sushi.
Yeah, right.
Heaps of sushi, and it checks out.
Yeah, because of the ceviche and the coastline. Yeah. Tradition of eating raw fish.
Yeah. You want to talk WNBA? Maybe some WNBL? Australian Opals chat? Heck, even dabble in some EuroLeague? Find the W Basketball Show on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.
The NBA moves so quickly these days, it's hard to keep up. Shams and Woj are breaking stories left and right, but the Quick Time Out is right there with them to keep you informed on the latest NBA news. Stop in and let us break it down as it happens. Find the Quick Time Out on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.
But Marco, I haven't bloody seen any NBA over the last 3 weeks, and I feel like I'm just behind the 8 ball here.
So that's funny. So our good friend Daniel Gafford, when he said, you know, he loves just talking about the leagues and things like that, he was lying actually. You haven't been talking about the league at all.
I actually haven't been talking about the league at all. But Marco, we're at the bottom.
Yeah, we're totally sharing the bottom rung of the ladder.
Yeah.
Wow. Wooden spooners. Wow, that's actually crazy, isn't it?
We're a combined.
So how did that happen?
So the next little chunk of the pod will just be Marco telling me what's happening in the league right now, and me having many questions.
Hey, I might not know the answer. We might have to figure it out together.
So the New Orleans Pelicans and the Washington Wizards are currently combined for a 6-34 record. which is horrible.
Yeah.
Which is just abhorrent.
40 games played as well. It's, it's half a season.
Yeah. The New Orleans Pelicans at 4-18 are just eons ahead of the Washington Wizards as well. So what's going on, Marco? I don't understand why the Wizards are bad.
Yeah, they're the worst team in the league.
By design.
Yeah,
but the Pelicans are not by design.
So, when this losing streak started, so I think it's wait, I'll just do the addition real quick here. So what's that? We're 4-18, 22. So that's 16. So we've won 1 out of the last 16 games.
Christ.
Yeah. So it obviously started with having like the most injured roster in the league. We basically lost DeJounte Murray halfway through his debut. Herb Jones went out. Jose Alvarado went out. Trey Murphy was already out. Zion went out, came back, and then is just like indefinitely out and has been fired by his agent. So like that's not concerning in the slightest.
Wait a second. Zion got fired by his agent?
Well, his agent parted ways, but it's in a way that makes me think that, like, his agent's like, nah, we're not getting a payday here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So who's Zion's, is he?
I think he's currently agentless because...
But is Zion's, was the agent, do they manage a lot of NBA players?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it was... It was CAA.
I was gonna guess CAA.
It was CAA.
Because if it wasn't Clutch,
it just says they parted ways here. And then, as on a side note, Brandon Ingram also parted ways with his agent and then signed with Clutch like a week later.
Yeah.
Which is good for Brandon Ingram, and Los Angeles Lakers fans. So. That's all pretty bad. Brandon Ingram's been missing time. Even freaking like Eve Missy and Jordan Hawkins have been getting injured. Like our 9th and 10th best players have missed like significant chunks. We've had to sign Brandon Boston Jr., Alfred Payton, who had 21 assists in one game.
Yeah.
I think like Javonte Green started like double the amount of games this season than he started over his entire career.
Yeah, there you go.
That Jamal Cain guy had a 30 burger. That was interesting. But Antonio Reeves. Sorry, no, it was Antonio Reeves.
Oh yeah, Austin's brother.
Yeah. So it started with it just being like so injured, but like we've just lost our identity completely.
Yeah.
Like the offensive identity is already so mixed up. With Zion, BI, and now you're adding, DeJounte Murray, another ball handling mid-range specialist to the mix. So like we haven't even established what that's going to look like because they have played no games together.
True.
But we just like completely lost our defensive identity, which is like what I think we really leaned on over the past few seasons when we had injuries to stars, even when we had injuries to role players, it was like we actually still look good on defense. Like everyone looks locked in. A lot of that was down to like Herb Jones just being like a good roamer, like a good marshal of the defense, but like something else isn't right. Like Willie Green isn't getting through to this group about like how he wants the team to defend. And so like even today, right? Played the Atlanta Hawks. Got out to a good start again, and DeJounte Murray is playing all right, but we just got let down on defense, which is like so shit because that used to be like what we were genuinely so good at that all down the roster. And like we've lost Dyson Daniels, who's turned into like the deflection specialist. Najee Marshall,
the
who's
great
been
barrier thief.
Yes, that's exactly right. Najee Marshall, who's been playing really well for the Mavs. Larry Nance Jr., like, God, we absolutely could have used him.
Is he an ATL?
Yeah, he's an ATL as well, and he's actually been playing really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think just by losing like enough personnel and then having this huge shake-up, it means like we just have had obviously zero time to establish a game plan, but we've also lost any sort of like consistent identity that we've had over the last few seasons. Yeah. And it's really bad. Like we're just one of the worst teams to watch. Like,
yeah, right.
The Wizards, it's like at least it's fun. You're like, that guy could be good. Like, that guy could be good. Jordan Poole's pretty funny,
Yeah.
Like, but this, it's like our half-court offense is like dreadful. There's just no one knows how to get an open shot. We're taking so few threes and we're hitting so few of them as well. I reckon we'll have we got to have one of the worst 3-point. Yeah. 28 in 3-point attempts and 27 in 3-point percentage.
It's quite tragic.
Yeah, it's quite bad.
Are there any positives?
Yeah, absolutely.
Take me through them.
Eve Missy has been like genuinely really good. Like if he was playing 20 minutes a night as like, you know, even as our starting center as like you know, rim running, rim protecting big, it would look so good. Like he's so mature. He's a good shot blocker. He doesn't make stupid fouls. He's like, he just adds to our transition game as well. But like,
nice.
He's being asked to do way too much. Okay. Like so much. I think he had over 20 points and like 14 rebounds today. And it's just like, man, yeah, your rookie shouldn't be doing that in a game. Your rookie center, who's probably like your 7th option on offense, shouldn't be the one producing for the team when, you know, you have DeJounte Murray on the court.
Yeah.
So that's been good. I mean, that's probably it, man.
Okay.
Like, I hate to say it, I've enjoyed watching Alfred Payton play. He's pretty fun. Like, like he just loves racking up assists and he just hates turning the ball over. Yeah. But again, like, you know, the good sign there would be like, oh yeah, he'd be good if he's, you know, your 12th guy. Yeah. Like he's not going to play in the playoffs. I mean, we're not going to play in the playoffs, but he's definitely not going to play in the playoffs. But yeah, I think apart from that, it's all been pretty negative, to be honest.
Do you reckon there'll be trades?
But like, I don't even know what we do.
Yeah.
Like,
because I think that's the thing. You talked about identity. You hit on identity with this team. Yeah. You're like, don't even know what this team looks like full strength. How are you going to make, you know, the mid-range work? But I think that's the reason the Wizards are fun to watch, is because it's like, oh, they are bad. Yeah. That's the point.
Yeah.
Whereas the Pelicans is like, all right, cool. We've finally got like another like theoretical upgrade in a starter for in DeJounte Murray. Now we've got a great lineup. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you were to imagine this current iteration of the New Orleans Pelicans, 22 games of the way through the 24-25 season, would they be trading to make the roster better or worse?
Now I think if we were going to make a trade, it would be get value for BI. Fuck. It could be get value for Zion. Like I know that's crazy, but it could be. It would be get value for BI and then just be bad for the rest of the season. Yeah. And like, you know, go for Cooper Flag. Like, you know, go for a top 4 lottery pick.
Yeah.
That's the only like move I think we can make, because there's no move around the margins we can make here. Like the roster's got talent on it. It's just like no one's been healthy, and then the top end is just so like askew.
Yeah.
So yeah, like at this stage, like write the season off. Probably try and be bad and just like get everyone to figure out playing together. Like, I think the sad thing is like if everyone gets healthy, we'll go for a play-in spot and we won't get one.
Yeah.
and then we won't, you know, then we won't have a top 4 lottery pick.
Yeah.
But fuck, like, do we really need another lottery pick now that I think about it? Like, God, just whiffed on a lot of high-end talent the New Orleans Pelicans have.
Yeah.
And famously so.
Yeah. So what was it last season? You had 49 wins?
Yeah.
49-33.
Yeah.
So to match that record from last year, you got to go 45 and 15 the rest of the way, which is, you know, one of the best basketball teams of all time.
Fucking cakewalk, man. 75% win rate, easy in my sleep.
Reminds me of, on the other side of the coin, the Philadelphia 76ers. Another team that's built to win, and is currently also sitting on 4 wins, way more than 4 games into the season. And it's like, it's, you know, 20 games into the season, I feel like basketball old heads love being like, oh, you need to give the team 20 games to see what they are.
Yeah.
I think a lot of teams know what they are now. There are 11 teams in the West that are 500 or better, and you got to hope that 3 of them suck, and the teams that are below 500, which include the Sacramento Kings, which I don't know enough about on this young season, them also like being bad as well.
Yeah.
So is it insane to think that this season is a write-off?
No, not at all. I think it's
Would you say that's
100% a write-off.
That's where you are. Would you say that's the same for the Sixers?
No, because the East is just like so like the Bucks went from having like 3 wins to being the 5th seed in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like,
5th seed at 10-9. Yeah, that's pretty gross.
For context, the Minnesota Timberwolves are the 11th seed at 10-10.
Yeah, true. Half a game worse.
Yeah. Have probably let's just guess they've had a harder strength of schedule as well. let's just guess that. So yeah, I like the Sixers can totally, I mean, how do you think about this as a team like the Philadelphia 76ers? Do you go, we need to just make the playoffs and then fucking flame out in the first round? Because that's all that's going to happen. This team can't be any better than, getting, I don't know, the 6th seed and losing in the first round.
Yeah.
I reckon.
They've been like that for like 6 years now as well. No matter who goes there, they're like guaranteed to not make it far in the playoffs.
But at least they've been a better regular season team, At least they get the hope of
that's true.
getting the 1 seed or the 2 seed and then
well, let's flip to the other side of the conference. This was one question I really wanted to ask. I watched the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Boston Celtics yesterday.
Yeah.
And my question was, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics play in a playoff series tomorrow and everyone's healthy. What is the score of the what's the series?
Oh god, it's so hard. Probably, I know it's a cop out, but Boston in 7.
Wow, you reckon it'll go the distance?
Yeah, I reckon the Cavs are really good at, their record shows this, but they're really good at winning games. No, but they're genuinely during that winning streak, I think pretty much every time I watched them, I was like, oh fuck, they might lose this one. They're kind of trailing when they shouldn't be, and then they just pull out an amazing 4th quarter performance. I think in their 2 wins over the Bucks, I think, did they thrash them once, and then in the second one it was like, oh no, the Bucks are going to win this one, and Donovan Mitchell just pulled magic out of his ass. So yeah, I think they could,
no, they were both nail biters.
They were both nail biters?
Yeah. Unless they played them thrice.
No, I think they played them on, not back to back, but
right.
In consecutive games or something like that. Is that what the record's saying?
They had a 2-point win and a 1-point win.
Yeah. I feel like Donovan Mitchell pulled something out in both of those games.
Oh yeah.
That's the one where he lost his dribble and then he hit the stupid mid-range. Actually, we both watched that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this roster, I think this team, this Cleveland Cavaliers team, I think they're more playoff ready than they've probably ever been.
Yeah, okay.
Since making the Donovan Mitchell trade. Their offense looks so well drilled, their defense is still so good. Their 4 best players are just all playing well. Which is very helpful. But I just keep being reminded of how good Boston are. Today when they started Jordan Walsh and Luke Cornett, it's but Derek White, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown are still on the floor. So they still have the 3 best players in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't have Cleveland beating them in a series right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Even the game against even that game yesterday, was it Brown that wasn't playing? Yeah. And Derek White.
Yeah, but then they played today against the
I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's
I think they're just resting everyone.
That's crazy.
At any moment they possibly can.
That's so funny.
They didn't play Porzingis or Al Horford today. Which so fair. 38-year-old center and made of glass center.
Yeah.
Rest them on a back-to-back. Go for it. Absolutely.
And on the other side of the coin, OKC and Houston. Are these? I get the feeling, having not watched any basketball for 2.5 weeks, that Houston will end in the play-in.
Oh, jeez, no. I think they're a real top 6 seed.
Wow.
I don't think they're the second best team in the West. I don't think they're a Western Conference finalist, but they're really good.
Okay.
They're just really deep and they're just making it work.
Okay.
So that's not a very It's not a very nuanced take.
So, if they were to have a playoff series tomorrow, how would that go? The Thunder and the Rockets.
Thunder in 5, I reckon.
Oh, okay. And the Thunder.
I think the Thunder will just turn on so much in the playoffs. Yeah.
And the Thunder. Are you saying that they're the team to beat in the West?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I really don't trust. There's just another rung of trust below them. Like, I'm not saying I don't trust anyone else, but it's like, all right, Memphis still got questions. Golden State are going to fall off. Watch this. Golden State will be in the play-in by the end of December.
Jesus.
They're going to go on a crazy losing streak for sure. Dallas just have not been that good. Phoenix have looked really good, but like they're just, they're losing games whenever Kevin Durant doesn't play, and like he's not going to play games.
Yeah.
And then Denver. We can talk about Denver, but like, yeah, they're not gonna win the championship this year. That's gonna be my prediction.
You glossed over the Lakers there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was watching. Was it the Lakers Wolves today?
Yeah,
the Wolves won quite handily.
They just rolled over them.
Yeah. It's so. I feel like AD is good, and I feel like LeBron is way over it now. But
also like, fuck, he's averaging 23, 8, and 9.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, way below his career averages. But it doesn't. There's not the same threat, Yeah. And he's just like he's very beatable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's still they always get me in. I'm always like, what's going to happen in this game? This could be an interesting game. But it does feel like 12-9 is probably the best their record's going to be as a percentage for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
San Antonio, I mean, not compared to the Oklahoma City Thunder, but do you reckon they could stay around 500?
Yeah, definitely.
That's 100%.
Awesome. They're just so pleasant to watch.
They are, aren't they?
Such a pleasant roster.
They all have started lobbing the ball to Wemby.
Yeah.
And every time you feel like a genius watching it. You're like, yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And like, you just want to give Chris Paul all of the credit.
Yeah.
The fact that you can just see how other players are learning off him. Like, starting him and Stephen Castle next to each other, like, that's no one's starting backcourt of the future. Not even like
impossibly.
Not even 39-year-old Chris Paul, but like 20-year-old Chris Paul. That's just not happening. But it's so good, like, seeing them get reps in together. And like, I don't think Castle is. Yeah, he's definitely not. He's definitely a rookie. He's definitely not like a true point guard. Like he's not a pass first sort of guy. He loves dribbling around and looking for a shot. But yeah, like, it's so important to be getting him like as many minutes as possible, both next to Wemby, but also like with Chris Paul on the court with him as well.
Yeah, awesome. Who's their assistant coach? That's like, what's happening with Pop? Is he just?
He had a stroke.
What?
Yeah.
So horrible to laugh at. But that's crazy. That's so
that's
sad.
That's me catching up with the league, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, that's sad.
Yeah. So he's still recovering.
Wow, that happened the day I left.
Yeah. Wow. No, I think it happened earlier, but they didn't. They didn't reveal it until
Gotcha.
then.
Yeah.
So I don't know when he's. I don't know when he's supposed to come back, or so. There's some assistant coach you think is leading the team at the moment?
Yeah, I saw him he's just like the associate head coach or whatever they like to call it.
Yeah, Mitch Johnson. There we go.
Yeah, and he seems to have a pretty good command on the team.
Yeah.
Rolling out what they've been doing, but like, I don't know. I feel like he's adding his own thing to it as well.
Yeah. Well, just the specter of Pop as well.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be watching every minute you played, like, at some point, and cuss you out for it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to have too much of an effect.
Yeah.
But also, like, I don't think this team is trying insanely hard to be where they are right now.
Yeah.
Like, to be 11-9, and the fact that they are at 11-9 is just very promising. It's like the season could go really poorly from here and it just wouldn't matter. Because you've already you put some good basketball together. Players are making improvements. You've proven that you can be a good team and beat good teams. If you want to trade Chris Paul, to a contender in the definitely, then you can do that.
And you're going to be the team that gets as many second round picks as possible for Chris Paul. You're going to play him into that form. It's so good for the league that they're like this. Flip side, the Atlanta Hawks. Now they're 11-11, and I feel like since Trae Young said that the East is too easy or whatever, this is
those years ago.
This is the best they've played, this is the best their record has been.
Weren't they just 500 for so long?
Yeah, but this feels like a stronger 500.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's interesting. I've actually enjoyed watching the Hawks, which I think the DeJounte Murray, God, we need a bit of an inquest into that guy. Okay. I think because the Atlanta Hawks team he was on was terrible to watch. But Trae's obviously he's just doing the Trae Young thing. He's having some incredible games. He's don't look at what number it starts with or ask me what number it starts with. Dyson Daniels has been so much fun to watch. I feel like now there's just more good young wings. They're kind of more exciting as well. It's Jalen Johnson's had this breakthrough, but DeAndre Hunter's actually playing pretty well. And then you got Ricochet.
I think it's Ricochet.
I'm so used to saying Ricochet as a joke that I can't get the real name out of my mouth. But they just have heaps more fun players, and I think Okongwu's had the most responsibility or the most trust from the coaching staff that he's had the whole time. He's still coming off the bench, but you can tell he's the go-to center. He's That's playing good. More minutes, he's closing, he's obviously more important to their identity. Just a bit more Garrison Matthews as well. God, love watching him on the court. Absolute mongrel.
He was always great to have.
Incredible shooter.
Confident beyond his ability as well. No, that's not true.
No.
Confident to his ability, but his ability is beyond what you would expect it to be.
Exactly right. He knows exactly how good he is at shooting. And he's not oh no, I'm only playing 15 minutes a night. I'm not going to shoot. He's no, I'm going to shoot.
If I can get 7 threes in those 15 minutes, I'll take them.
Absolutely.
And I'll hit 3.
That being said, I don't know where this team will finish. Again, the East is just fucking cracked at the moment. So the bad kind. They could really be anywhere, and I don't trust them in a playoff series either.
So just for to finish off my thought from before when Trae Young said I'm not what was it, whatever he said, he
we're done with the regular season, or we're done with the Eastern Conference?
I can't remember what it was. I'm not worried about the East, so I'm not worried about the regular season.
Holy God.
But he said it in a season they made the conference finals, and they went. It was a shortened season of a 72 gamer where they went 41-31. Since then, their best season was the next season where they went 43-39. Then 41-41, then 36-46, and now 11-11. Trae Young's also boasted a 29-52 record in his rookie season. And let me just double check that was his rookie season.
Are you adding all the numbers up?
Oh no, I'm not adding all the numbers up. But then the next season he went, him and his team went 20-47. So his win-loss record would be well below 500. And it's just such a funny quote. For any player, let alone a player that's had such little success when it comes to wins. But I do feel like he's getting stronger in what he does. I feel like he may have plateaued in how many different things he can bring to the table, but he's just getting more and more deadly with it. And an offense that he runs is just it's gonna be an incredible offense.
I don't think that's untrue. He's shooting terribly this season. I think you're right, but I don't think it's coming together on on paper and in results yet.
Okay.
Because like their offense, like I totally get what you're saying, but their offense isn't good.
Okay. Okay, cool. I haven't watched the game in 2.5 weeks. Last two teams I wanted to talk about. I want to know what's happening with the Miami Heat. Are they getting? I feel like they're getting thinner and thinner every time I watch them, and less deep. But then I'm also hearing Tyler Hero's like the GOAT somehow this season. So what's going on?
Man, I almost have to pass on this one. Like I can't watch Heat games anymore. It's so frustrating.
Culture aside.
Yeah, like there's just more weird cunts playing every night. Tyler Hero is having a really good season, but I don't think it's affected how good or bad the Heat have been.
Okay.
And like Jimmy's played 14 games, which feels like a lot for him, out of 20 or whatever. What's their record? Oh no, 18. Yeah, like that's heaps, but they don't look like they're going to be making any noise.
Okay.
I don't really know. Like, I think the sort of trades, it just feels like any trade they could make dried up after the Dame saga. Like, the Terry Rozier trade's just been a colossal failure, I reckon. Like, he's just not looked like he's going to contribute in a meaningful way to them at all. Like none of their... they don't even have like a free agent signing or a young rookie that's breaking through. It's like Hami Jaquez Jr. was the last one. And now the well has run dry. So I don't know. I honestly... Like, what do they do? Just like long term as well.
They were in the NBA Finals 16 months ago. 18 months ago. So...
But like...
They can't... Like, how did they...
They lost 3 guys from that run as well.
How did they get here? I was thinking about this today at the gym this morning at fucking 4 a.m. I was like, man, the Lakers really fucked up their roster. Like, they had all the players that they need to get. The players they need to get now. It was I can't believe Alex Caruso. I can't believe they didn't retain him. No. Like, that's crazy. That at the time was like, what the fuck are you people doing?
Every move Alex Caruso has made in his career has been like, how? Like, like how did the Thunder get rid of a problem and get Alex Caruso in return? Why would the Lakers let him walk? I know, and like, I mean, I think it was a stupid Twitter thing, but like, obviously, someone LeBron just like really enjoyed playing with as well, and like you couldn't retain him. Yeah. And I think Caruso came out on a pod and revealed what the difference was. And I think it was... Who did he go to? It was the Bulls after the Lakers. I think the difference was something like 11 million from the Bulls versus 9 million from the Lakers. And the Lakers didn't want to match it. It's just like... Because of apron or, bloody luxury tax or something like that.
But I think it was like very doable for them to free up the space. And then Caruso was like, I'll meet you in the middle, something. But like, he offered the Lakers a better deal, and they said no. So,
huge whiff.
So bad. So I guess 2 like final points were. I know I said I had 2, but now that we're on the Lakers, Dalton Connect, is he good?
Yeah, he's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good. Like, he's limited. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I can make this judgment yet. So, if anyone else wants to chime in, please do. But, like, I don't think he's a good defender or will ever be a good defender.
Okay, cool.
But, like, he's just a legit offensive threat. And, like,
that's cool.
He's hit so many threes. Like, he's just had...
Sick.
He's just had... a couple of, like, you just look at his stat line and you're like, oh wow, like rookies don't usually hit 9 threes in a game. Like,
right, okay, cool.
That's not common. Okay, he's had 1 9 and he had a 6 the other day that made me go, wow, okay. But he's doing it against legit opposition and under the bright lights of LA. But like I suppose I don't know what he looks like in the playoffs. Like, like he's playing, like he's starting games and he's playing pretty serious minutes. But like, I don't know if you can do that. I feel like that 24 MP becomes like a 16 MP when the playoffs start. But also, like, the Lakers just don't have that much more offense. So like, unless they make a trade, they might kind of have to play him just so they have the shooting on the floor.
They suck. And the team they played today was the other team I was going to ask for. Minnesota Timberwolves. What's the pulse check with them? Is it a complete and utter failure? Do they just need more time? Do they need to move a player? What's going on?
I want to give him more time, but the vibes are horrible.
Right.
The chemistry. Man, who would have thought putting Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle on a team together might have been a bad idea locker room wise? I don't know why nobody thought of that. I think they're obviously clashing. Like, they're obviously having problems. And then, like, Anthony Edwards he isn't like a uniter.
Yeah.
You know? Like, he isn't bringing everyone together. And then I think, like, Mike Conley is just not in the spot to, like, you know, he can only do so much. Like, he can't kind of heal those chemistry issues completely by himself. I do think they need more time, though, because, like, there's been games where they've looked really good, like, on both ends, and Randall's looked really good as well. And, like, Ant was playing at this, like, crazy MVP level for, you know, the first 10 games of the season, and he's dropped off a little bit. But, like, I think there's a way this team can be good. Like, I don't feel like it's just, like, a doomed on-court fit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, if the chemistry is this bad now, like, it's pretty tricky to get better.
Yeah. Also, how much the team has changed, like how much the locker room has changed from 2 seasons ago when you had like Vando and Kat, who felt like they were pretty integral parts to just like the vibes of the team.
Yeah.
And they've bled, you know, shed one of those pieces every year since, as well as other pieces that were part of what like beefed this team up, Kyle Anderson. I feel like there's another like massive player I'm missing. One of the like, McDaniels is still there.
Yeah.
I feel like there's another rotational piece that they traded away for Gobert.
It was Vando.
The pick that ended up being Walker Kessler, heaps of picks, and then one other player. Anyway, I feel like, from where they are now, this is like, Ant must be looking around.
Malik Beasley?
No, yeah, true. Ant must be looking around like, this, what's going on? Like, what's going on? Like, I could look over both shoulders 2 years ago, and they were like, guys I fucking loved loved playing with, and now it's just like, it's a completely different team. But I do like the answer of got to give them more time because it is they're good, you know. These are good players,
and trust me, like, I'm so ready to write a team off that makes like first the Gobert and then the Randall trade. Like, I'm very happy to do that. But I think they need more time. Those bloody guys over there.
Go Wolves.
Yeah, say what you will about Kat, and like seriously, say whatever you want. But like. He must have genuinely been keeping that team. Like, I think it just must have been the consistency of like, oh, this guy was here when they were so bad. Yeah. And he was here when they were so bad for so long as well. Yeah. And like, you know, he genuinely loves the team and like wants to be here and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So I think losing him, it must have, it's just like this thread that was like, kind of like, you know, reminding everyone where like this team had started.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But was lost. And now it's like, Ant's like, well, you know, I was number 1 overall pick. Yeah, I went to this team when they were really bad, but like my teammates are all stars that they traded for.
Yeah. I reckon there'll be a good book about this team.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they're doing like a documentary about them right now, just by coincidence?
So what's the one about? There's a doco coming out about an NBA team, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's the one that came out about the 5 players, which was like Jimmy Butler, LeBron, 2 other guys, and fucking Domantas Sabonis. I think there's another one coming out about an NBA team.
Are they following the Dallas Mavericks this season or something?
Ooh, potentially.
It's someone who had a good playoff run last year, and then they were like, we'll follow them.
All right.
Or am I I'm thinking about Hawthorne. I'm thinking about the Hawthorne Football Club.
Oh my god, Hawkball.
Yeah, they're going to follow Hawthorne through the 2025 AFLM season, which will be funny.
But the point I was coming to was there was winning time.
Yeah.
With the Lakers, there was the last dance.
Yeah.
With
the Bulls.
Chicago, yes.
Yeah.
What would the Minnesota Timberwolves
What would it be called?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I don't know.
Twinning time.
The Bowl of America. Like,
very good.
That's pretty good, actually.
Twinning time.
Twinning time.
Twin Cities.
Yeah, nice.
The
Minnesota.
like not The Last Dance, like the mediocre two-step or something.
Okay,
like
that's pretty good. Yeah,
the dancing lesson.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll work on that one.
And that we will. Mark, we have a game.
Yeah, we got to go.
Sorry, guys.
But good to chat to you, man.
Yeah.
And also, it's good to be like, hey, this is what's happening in the NBA. Because, bloody hell, I didn't know until I said it.
Lovely. Oh, you got to get that cough checked out.
That's a good time to wrap it up, I think.
Yeah, no shit. All right, see ya.
Bye.